All right, ladies and gentlemen of the internet worldwide, tuning in live and, well, pre recorded in living color. This is your man, Kyle Means, War Media. Follow us everywhere at War Media, all major platforms. And hopefully, we bring you some nice content here, some and well-informed content to go on top of the entertaining things we usually do. This is a special that we've put together called "It's Always Shady" in Chicago. Shout out to my man Dave Evans for the title. But it's always shady in Chicago. With this special, we're previewing the uh, really the citywide elections here in Chicago, our fair city, the city notorious for a lot of trickery and type of interesting issues involving our civic duties and our elections and such. So we always, as good, conscientious citizens, like to keep ourselves informed of what's going on here in the city and elsewhere. And with that in mind, I brought uh, three, very important guests here for our show tonight. Three writers of well import and establishment here in Chicago, who I'm gonna be talking to across this special. And our first guy that we're bringing on, our first source, is a pretty special one for me and for War Media. He's a guy who's really has done a great job over the years for many different outlets, but has in his background some work with us for our website and been on the D and Davis show and the like. And he is Mr. DeMario Phipps Smith, as you can see right here. Uh, welcome to the show, man. First off, and as I said before we went on, man, it's been a minute since I've really been in your presence. I've keep up with what you've been doing online, and you've been doing your thing. And one particular piece that is useful for our special, we're going to get into momentarily. But first off, man, before we get into our talk, man, what's going on with you? How you doing?
Man, bro, thank you so much for inviting me on, man. As always, it's a pleasure. I remember the days of being an NABJ baby and just coming to you for some
Yeah.
advice, being a big dog in Chicago media. And then the last time being on the D and Davis show talking about Chicago high school sports, man, it feels like I've been everywhere in Chicago in that time. And then writing for some national outlets as well. So I started my career at the Chicago Sun-Times. Well, before that, I went to college at Southern Illinois University, Carbondale, where I worked on one of the greatest student newspapers ever, at the Daily Egyptian. It got me my start in journalism and kind of, build up my portfolio and my experiences that way, which led to me getting my first full-time job at the Chicago Sun-Times as a digital writer. And then from there, I've been able to get some bylines in places like the National Football Foundation, which covers everything from Pop Warner to college football, and then also writing for stuff like Eat This, Not That on Yahoo, and also Blavity.com, a Black-owned media source that I have been like fanboying of ever since I left college, and it was an honor and an opportunity to work with them. And that all those experiences kind of bring me now to my role where I just finished my master's degree at University of Northwestern in the Medill program. And so now I work at the News Literacy Project, which is a national nonpartisan education nonprofit that focuses on giving resources and trainings to students, educators, and the general public in regards to keeping them being active and engaged citizens of our democracy. So it's a pleasure to be here with you today, man.
Well, yeah, I'm glad to hear, man. You really take it. I'm really proud and happy of you, man. We like you said, go back and we so much background, being Chicagoans and SIU alums and alums of the Egyptian. We got that's why when I first came across you, I was definitely willing to be of any help to you as possible, and I'm glad to have done a lot in helping you along your path. But you've done a lot of the work yourself, and be able to talk about all those credits and things that you have. It is really cool to see, man. And like I said, I'm really proud of you.
No,
And
I just
in
want
that
to
capacity,
before you go on, I just want to give a big shout out to you, Ken, Des, and people like Evan Moore. You guys have done some really amazing work in setting up the foundation for young Black journalists like myself to have a lane, to have mentors to reach out who aren't so far removed from the spaces we're in, right? Like y'all still are like grassroots. Y'all really got it out the mud, and y'all really have done a big thing for Chicagoans, especially people trying to break into the media industry. So thank you so much.
I appreciate that very much, man. It's been a lot, but I'm still pushing, and I appreciate, like I say, just seeing the development of people like you out here. It fills me with a sense of purpose, and knowing that things that I've done in the past have come to some fulfillment, and things are a little bit better in our community, in our industry, definitely, of journalism, for what we've been doing. So yeah, definitely shout out to the guys, everybody who like I said, has been doing it here in Chicago for years now, like Evan, like the Bigs, like everybody, like Jamie Gold who's gonna be on later, John Fountain as well, and but yeah, man, in your capacity as senior manager at the community learning at News Literacy Project, you wrote a very informative piece in the Sun Times. Going back to, again, one of your old stomping grounds recently, about the headlines they used in the Sun Times says, "Avoid misinformation, become knowledgeable before voting in aldermanic contests." And yeah, man, the piece really spoke to me. I reached out to get you on this special because a main focus is the mayor race. The mayoral race gets a lot of attention simply for being a mayoral race and for the personalities and everything in it. We in Chicago is important at every level. And aldermen are especially important. And for speaking to that, this election is going to offer a lot of upheaval at that level. It's the city council level. As you write in this piece, 16 new members will stand to join the council. 16 members, it totals 12 of those current members who won't be running for re-election, and another 4 members have already resigned and up for the re-election in the election coming up this on 28th of February.
Yep.
So just starting with that, can you speak to the importance of these elections, and what type of impact they'll have on the future of Chicago?
Yep, absolutely. I think at the News Literacy Project, we preach that, we want people to become active and engaged in their communities. And one of the biggest ways, one of the most prominent ways, is to show up and vote. And not just for things like, the president and some of our national election, but literally getting involved in your local elections. Those are some of the best ways to implement change that you want to see in your community. This year in particular could possibly be a very historic one, because you'll see a number of seats change on the city council. My ward, the 28th ward, I live on the west side of Chicago. Jason Irvin is running unopposed, so that's not changing in my community. But if you go find your ward, do some more research, you'll find out that there's opportunities to plug in and really understand the ways that you can help change your community. So for instance, your alderman is responsible for everything from snow removal to fixing potholes to building a big development in the community, like a big building or a school or a new fitness center. Your alderman is considered like the mini mayor of your of your ward, which in a lot of cases is like your neighborhood. So this position is highly important, and in a lot of ways, you know, might be more important to your everyday life than actually voting for the mayor. Both of those things are important. Please vote for the mayor, but also make sure you vote for the vote in the aldermanic election as well, and vote for things that are really pressing for you.
Yes, indeed. And you offer again in this article several ways that individual voters can sort of put themselves involved in these races in a positive and informative way. You start off with getting involved in your ward and staying connected to your local politicians, these aldermen. Can you speak, specifically in some of the ways that, because for the average person, they may feel that, just doing that, they feel that, oh, I'm not to really have any impact. That's for people who are really involved as a career politician. But that's case. Like I say, the average person can definitely make an impact and definitely be involved in the process of how things get done and established in your community, right?
Yep. However you want, whatever your views and beliefs are, they're your views. We encourage people to really be informed, to really understand what these issues are that matter to them so that they can be informed when it comes to voting. In particular, when it comes to, following your elected politicians and trying to hold them to account, some very simple things that you can do is just get familiar with the things around your community, right? Learn about the assets and the challenges of your community. And then once you take this research, really learning the environment around you, start attending some public meetings, join some community groups so that you can understand more about the issues and you can be more connected with people that influence change. And then also, like, if you really want to know, like, literally who your alderman is, you can visit the city's website. I think it's chicago.gov, and you can find more information. You can literally type in your address and it'll tell you which ward you belong to. And then from there, you can follow your alderman on Facebook. You can follow them on Twitter. You can get their access to their offices so that you can reach out to them about changes you would like to see in your community. But just staying plugged in with them, signing on to their newsletters, being abreast of their website updates and pages that they have are all ways that you can get plugged in with them without really having to be a politico or somebody who's very plugged into the community. You can take these steps to really start on that journey for yourself.
Yeah, that's an important thing to know. Like, especially with the aldermen, the alderpersons,
Yep.
we know politically correct.
Yep.
But the alderpersons, they are a neighborhood. That's the reason why they are these people, because they have to represent the neighborhood, your ward. So you may see them at public events in your area. You may see them at the grocery store. You
Yep.
may see all types of that you can see them. They're one of your neighbors essentially. So don't take that for granted. It's not like they're the president in the White House somewhere or the governor's mansion. And for that matter, the mayor also resides in Chicago. People, we've seen with Lightfoot people protesting in front of her house. And there's always office in Albany as well, so you can go reach them at their office on business hours, and not necessarily hassle them while they're taking a walk in the park or something.
Exactly.
But
they're normal people too.
It's really, yeah, you're right. They're normal people. people. So, you don't want to, get into all that whole harassment thing, especially with, certain issues. People get inflamed about these things, be cool and remember that they're people too.
Yep.
But it doesn't matter. You mentioned prioritizing not in the article, prioritizing nonpartisan election information. We'll get into how people can get skewed and twisted up with partisan information, but there are many sources out there that are nonpartisan and that give you the facts, to give real deal, and not something that is slanted towards a left or wing point of view. So can you put an audience on for those nonpartisan sources of information that are key to forming yourself as a voter?
Yeah, no, like I said, the News Literacy Project, we're a nonpartisan education nonprofit. So we really believe that the way to really build this movement around news literacy is to do it in a way that's nonpartisan, right? And so we believe that in order to be a credible news source around election information, or at least a nonpartisan one, if you want to be a nonpartisan one, we're looking at sources like the National Association of State Election Directors. The website is nased.org. And then there's also the voting rights advocacy platform, vote411.org. And these are both designed to encourage people to engage civically without any political sway or bias. They're really good sources at spelling out how the election works, the processes, and your rights when you participate in democracy and voting.
Now, when the majority of us get our information online, and I think we know from the past, from really a couple of presidential elections, but really at all levels, there's a lot of information and a lot of people who don't really act with good faith when it comes to informing their leaders and their civic leaders and all that. So it's important that people have a chance to have the right in front of them and not necessarily be you know persuaded in one falsely in one way or another.
Right.
So tell us about some of the best ways, efficient ways, from news, from opinion, fake news, from real news.
Yeah, no. So I'll start on the fake news point. We're big proponents in that the term fake news has been politicized in a way to weaponize it against factual, verified. It's become highly politicized. So for us, we shy away from the term fake news. We focus more on misinformation and disinformation. And you can see misinformation. It shows its ugly head a lot of times during election seasons. It's prevalent throughout our society in general. You can just hop on your phone or go on social media and find some misinformation. But I think the difference in opinion and total manipulation, just people trying to emotionally manipulate you into believing something that isn't true. Opinion, and especially opinion journalism, is grounded in facts and research and a logical argument. In newspapers and in news organizations, you'll see this take the form of op-eds. You'll see talking head style things like you see on CNBC or MSNBC, CNN and stuff like that. And then you'll also see editorials by the editorial board of the newspaper, which is a group of leaders who they'll come together and take a stance on an issue or to bring light to an issue. And this is opinion done credibly. This is opinion done responsibly. They're not just telling you something and wanting you to run away with it. They're showing you why they believe in this and why this is important for us to understand and learn. So I think a lot of times when people think about opinion, it's not that opinion isn't a part of the news cycle. And that we see opinion with everything. There's opinion pieces written about every controversial topic. but it is really important as you become a conscious consumer of news that you're able to delineate hard news, which is trying to tell you the who, what, when's, where, how's, versus the opinion, which is, you know, an opinion piece made grounded in logic and factual argument.
Yeah, great job explaining that. I kind of use the term fake news facetiously, kind of to set you up there, but really appreciate that explanation in regards to using the term misinformation as opposed to fake news, because that doesn't really exist. So
Yep.
the differentiation between news and opinion and how it's platformed in traditional media sources is important. And I think people, a lot of people recognize that. Some people don't, and they kind of knowingly choose to wash away all of what they call media and into one thing. It's important that we realize that the general public knows that you can have an opinion in certain journalistic facets, but and we're going to speak to an opinion writer, a columnist coming on the show as well, and I found, and still have hard factual evidence that is backing that writer up, backing that reporter up even.
Right.
And some people, you can't. Some people are so jaded against media that they go searching for really echo chambers online, and that's unfortunate. But all we can do as journalists is our jobs, and reinforce the aspects of journalism as we've been taught, and really just press on that mission of informing in the right way, and providing as much as possible for the general public that there's always the evidence of what's real out there, and just keep on fighting a good fight. And you're definitely one of those people who are doing that, DeMario. So we're so glad that we were able to get you on the special once again. Use this sort of article that you put here in the Sun to really inform people well leading up to this election. We're gonna move on from you, man. But like I said, man, I want to get you on again soon to talk about other issues in the community, man. Wherever you can always reach out to me, man, if you something you want to promote, or some type of program, or any type of thing that you're going for, man. But before we sign you off, man, just let us know how we can follow your work and continually, and that of the News Literacy Project or whatever else you do.
Yeah, absolutely. You can, and thanks so much for that, Kyle. You can find the more information about the News Literacy Project, all our free resources and tips and tools. They're completely free for the public. You can find those at newslit.org, newslit, newslit.org. And then you can follow me at DeMario P. Smith on Twitter. I'm a little bit more engaging and less professional on my Twitter. So if you follow me, be aware that I'm gonna just bombard you with a lot of bulls and bears stuff. But definitely, I appreciate the time as always. If there's anything I could do to help you out or to make an appearance, I would love that. And I'll definitely keep you in contact if we got some cool things happening at NLP.
That's great, man. Appreciate it. We even though they had it in us a lot of the time, we always got to utilize the Bulls and the Bears and the sports teams to. We definitely value in using them as a an outlet for certain frustrations at times. So yeah, definitely appreciate that, Mario, man, and like I said, man, just keep on pushing, man. Keep on doing your thing, and we always got your back here at WARR Media, man. But until we get back with you again, man, have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. Take care. Talk to you soon.
All right.